What's going on, boys and girls? I hope you're all well. If you're an Arsenal fan, I'm sure you're still suffering from what was a catastrophic result against Wolves the other day. This is my match preview video for Tottenham Arsenal, the North London derby, which has all of a sudden taken on far greater significance than it already had or should have. As you can tell, I am still sick. In fact, I think I've gone downhill since the Wolves game. Um, Look, I'm not going to lie, my head is still scrambled. I've been listening to and consuming so much content following that Wolves result. And let's just say there is a lot of anger online right now from an Arsenal perspective. I get the impression, and I feel it too, that there's this sense of the team is letting us down or they've let us down, you know. And I think that's how I feel ultimately. I do. I feel let down. I feel frustrated. I feel exhausted. You know, I've heard a lot of people talk about how this season and the last few years have been exhausting in the sense that you're just waiting to finally get the result that you want, which is obviously a trophy, and it just isn't coming. And again, we've put ourselves in a good position, and it looks like the team are going to crumble when it really matters, and that's just really exhausting as a fan. Obviously, the media and the rival fans are having an absolute field day with this, as you would expect them to. And we are just that laughing stock at the moment. We are that team that everyone is laughing at, and it sucks. It does suck. Um, I'm not particularly feeling any better about it. Um, I thought I'd maybe feel a little bit more optimistic today, but the truth is, as I said the other day in my match reaction to the game, this performance, this isn't a new thing. You know, that performance against Wolves, the way in which we approached that game, we've been doing that now for some time. You know, you look at the Forest game, you look at the Brentford game, you look at the Liverpool game. There's too many occasions now where this has been the way we've kind of approached games. We haven't played well, players severely below the level they need to be at. And that's why it's really hard for me to sit here and be confident moving forward or feel optimistic, because we're going into this Tottenham game, and Tottenham have been horrendous this year, like they were last year. But they will be massively up for this game. They've got a new manager who's come in who will have brought some sense of purpose and belief to them. Um, but more than anything, this is an opportunity for them to really drive a dagger through Arsenal, and really kind of, you know, damage our title hopes. So they will be absolutely 100% up for this game. And with the way we are playing right now, I don't see how we beat Tottenham, if I'm being really honest. It doesn't mean that we can't beat Tottenham. We definitely can beat Tottenham. But I just look at the individual performance levels. I look at the performance of the collective. I look at the way we're approaching games. It's hard for me to sit here and be confident about this game and the games coming between now and the end of the season. And that's why it's really exhausting, because it feels like we all know what's coming. And a big part of that is because I feel like Arteta over the years, he hasn't proved himself to be a coach that changes things quickly. He's very set in his ways. I know we have had moments in seasons where we've played attacking, free-flowing football and we've looked really great. But for the best part of the last 2 years now, our approach to games has been this very conservative, almost data-driven type approach. And it's not working. Let's just say it how it is. It's not working. But the problem is, I don't see Arteta changing this. You know, that Wolves game, I looked at the team that we picked. Eze had a great performance in that FA Cup game. Why is he not playing in this game against Wolves? Why are we going to the bottom of the ladder Wolves, possibly the worst team in the Premier League, with two sixes? Like, why not put Rice in the six? Zubimendi's been average for a while now. Put Rice in the six and let Eze and Saka play 10 and 8, or whatever you wanted to do. Like, yeah. So, look, we have to put the Wolves' performance to bed. It is what it is. It's in the past now. We can't change it. So let's focus on the Tottenham game. Man City have a tricky fixture against Newcastle the day before we play Tottenham. So even though Newcastle are on a nice little run of form right now, they just had a 6-1 win in the Champions League, but let's face it was against Karabag. I don't see anything but a Man City win here. The difference between us and Man City is when Man City, usually 9 times out of 10, when they're given an opportunity, they take it. And I just don't see how they don't beat Newcastle on Saturday. You look at where they were a couple of weeks ago. Bernard Silva said it himself. If they would have lost to Liverpool, that would have been 9 points behind Arsenal, and they would have effectively been like, we're done. They win against Newcastle on Saturday. They are 2 points behind us. So as much as I'm praying for a Newcastle win or even a draw at this point, I just think Man City will. They know what this game represents, and I think they'll be all over it like a rash, and I think they'll win quite comfortably. So that leads us down to Arsenal and the reality of going to White Hart Lane into a North London derby where it's difficult enough as it is. We will likely be going into that game with a 2-point lead, which means nothing but victory will be good enough. And that's really hard. Going into an away North London derby match and needing to win, that is a tall order. In terms of selection, look, it'll be David Raya in goal. David Raya needs to wake up a little. I don't know if he's getting too comfortable or if it's a pressure thing, but he's looked a little bit sloppy now for a while. So Raya in goal. I'm Timber's biggest fan. I think he is the most underrated player in the Premier League. I think he is just as equal to Saliba and Gabriel in terms of what he brings to this defence. But I think he's exhausted. I think he is absolutely out on his feet. And maybe we put Ben White in there. Maybe you put Ben White in there. Don't get me wrong. If you said to me, right, tomorrow you play the most important game of your life, who are you playing, Timber or White? I'm picking Timber every time. But maybe he is just absolutely out on his feet. So maybe we go with White. If it's my opinion, I'm backing Timber to put in a performance. I'm backing all the players to put in a performance after that Wolves result. And that's why I'm going to kind of relatively stick with the same team, because I want to give these players an opportunity to stand up and be counted and make a right of that wrong. So I'm going to go Timber at right back. Centre-back partnership will be Saliba and Gabriel. And at left-back, I think it'll be Nketiah. I thought Nketiah was the best of a bad bunch against Wolves. That was a nicely taken goal. And so I think Calafiori is still working his way back into this one. So I think it'll be Nketiah at left-back. He's going to play Zubimendi and Rice, so I'm not really going to get into that. So Zubimendi in the 6, Rice in the 8. Eze has to go in the 10. And again, I've said it all season, Eze has not delivered. But I don't want to see Saka in the 10 because I definitely do not want to see Madueke in this starting lineup. So Eze in the 10, Saka on the right. On the left, Trossard. I was really angry at Martinelli in that game. There were some things that he did in that game where I was just like, who are you? As I said in my last video, the bare minimum from Martinelli every week is effort and desire and tracking back, and I don't think we got that, and we definitely didn't get anything going forward, and I thought his attitude was well below where it needed to be for that game. And so Trossard on the left, and then up front, look, doesn't sound like Havertz is going to be back, or definitely not fit enough to start. Gyökeres was appalling against Wolves, but Jesus at the same time was equally as bad when he came on. So I think it'll be Gyökeres up top. And we need at least one player to step up and take this match out of Tottenham's hands. We need one player to do something special and say, I'm going to put this team on my back and we are winning this game today. That might be a Gabriel. It might be a Declan Rice. It might be Eze. It might be Saka. It might be Gyökeres. One of these players, ideally more than one, but some of these players have to step up now. They have to step up to the plate and they have to start performing. Saka's just had his announcement of his contract. He's just had the signing of his contract announced. It feels like really terrible timing in the sense of we've just coming off the back of that result to Wolves. So I don't think there's been a ton of like excitement around the Saka announcement given what's going on. But Saka, I know you got the goal against Wolves and you made your little hand signature thing. That's cool. But this game against Tottenham is where you need to step up and deliver and get us over the line. Eze, recreate that hat-trick moment. Gyökeres, score a banger out of nowhere. Declan Rice, control the centre of that field. Get back to being the general that you are. Saliba, Gabriel, rock solid. Don't let them have anything. David Raya, calm down. This game is huge. This game is huge. Huge. If we don't collect 3 points, and City win, I don't think we do it. And when I say I don't think we do it, I say I don't think we win the Premier League. I think if we drop 1 point, 3 points, if we do not win against Tottenham and Man City beat Newcastle, I don't think we win the Premier League. And I think it becomes the beginning of quite a big unravelling from this team, which would be really, really disappointing and sad to see. So I am going to put my flag in the ground one more time. I'm going to back this team. I'm going to back this manager and believe that they have a fire burning in them right now to shut everyone up and make a statement after that Wolves performance. It's the only option that they have is to stand up and be counted right now. It's the only option they have. And even then it might not be enough, to be honest, but let's see. As for this whole conversation around Arteta, I'll say it again. For now, he has my support. I think what he's done with the football club in terms of getting us back to where we are now, I think it's been an incredible effort. I think the way he's brought the club back together, he's galvanised the club, the fan base, he's put us back at the top table. And for someone to do that in their first managerial role, considering where we were when he took over, I think that demands a lot of respect. But the simple truth is, if we don't win a major trophy, and when I say major trophy, I mean Premier League or Champions League this season, we have reached a point where we need to politely say thank you for your efforts, and we need to go out and get the very best manager out there that is available. And in my opinion, that is Luis Enrique. But I want to put that to the side for now because that's not the time for us to get into that. Right now, it's about full support behind Arteta, the management, and the players to go and do a special thing against Tottenham at White Hart Lane and absolutely batter them. Batter them. I want us to absolutely win every duel, every minute of this game. I want us to be aggressive, decisive, purposeful, and I want a 2-0 win. I want an aggressive, comfortable, assured 2-0 win. Star man, Declan Rice. He's our leader. He's the person who knows what this is all about, and I think he'll be furious after that result, and I expect him to put in an absolutely stellar performance. So that's my prediction. 2-0 to the Arsenal, Declan Rice star performance, and someone needs to step up and get the goals. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Fingers crossed.